All right, welcome back everyone to Growing Up Alien. And today we have a longtime friend and I couldn't wait to actually finally get on the show because we were waiting for you to get your website up and all your things in gear. And so today I want to introduce you to I think, and the thing is, most of you already know Renata Duma from um, engaging with you in the chats and also in our lives and also on Facebook. And I just want to mention that too for a lot of folks. We're even though I don't post a lot of things sometimes because I'm not a content creator and I don't post stuff just to post stuff, but we're actually doing a lot of stuff on Facebook, just on my regular page. And I'm chatting with people on Facebook Messenger, and we're really, diving deep and digging out a lot of the strange stuff that, it's not right. Something doesn't feel right, and we're all kind of on the same. We're talking about this stuff. And of course, everybody is welcome to join in on our conversations there. So once again, welcoming Renata to our podcast and her pièce de résistance, right?
Oh, yes,
Creamy
absolutely.
portal, right? Creamy portal.
Free
So
me,
yeah,
free me, free me.
creamy. I'm gonna have
Yes,
you
free me. I'm free. Hey, free me. Yeah, not as in, please free me. No, as in, free me. Hi.
hello, hello.
I
Welcome,
made it.
friend.
I made it. Still kicking, still breathing. I made it through the matrix, right?
Oh, well, I want to say we're not, no, I don't say that too soon.
Uh, well, apparently, as long as we're in a body and we're still in space time, we're going to be in some form of a matrix. So, but you can learn to manage it and observe it. It's like the eye of the eye. You don't have to be caught up in it. You can live your life.
Yeah,
Uh, knowing it's there and navigating it and negotiating it as best you can and not giving it the frequency and the energy, because when we believe in it 100% and when we're caught in it we don't realize it, that's when it wreaks havoc with us. But as long as you can turn the tables around and know that this is the game, because it is a game, then you can actually enjoy the game
oh,
to
I
a
mean,
certain
it's interesting. I want to have you introduce, yourself and your background. But just before we do that, when it was funny, just what you had mentioned, I heard this. I listen to the radio sometimes when I'm driving in the barn,
extent.
and there's these commercials come on. They're talking about, people are they're encouraging people to buy gifts for the Christmas holiday seasons, whatever that are coming up. And people are like, they're normalizing the fact of people wasting their money,
Mm-hmm.
getting themselves in debt
Mm-hmm.
to buy junk. Well, and I'm listening to this, I'm going, what the hell is wrong with people?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they buying gifts?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can see if you want to donate something to a charity or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what are you doing? They're you see people running around these stores and they're buying a bunch of stuff no one needs for
Yeah,
what? We used to say in my family, just buy what you need when you need it. Exactly. It's
pretty
like,
much.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty much, pretty much. Well, it's programming, right? It's
oh,
programming,
oh, you
and
can see it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
They're
100% programming.
normalizing it, like
Oh yeah,
regular husbands and wives and families. They go out and buy all these gifts. They
yeah,
say,
yeah, and they all come from Satan Claus. Oh, I mean Santa Claus,
I say,
the
it's
guy with the red suit. Hello, have we not figured that one out yet?
it's just, I mean, and what it's doing to the kids, and I mean, anyway,
Oh
but
yeah, oh yeah.
our viewers all understand.
Yes, yeah, they do. And it's just this cycle of programming that continues to
Oh,
perpetuate itself, and that's the goal. The goal is to create the programming that perpetuates itself. And on the other side of that, if we created the whole thing, then we created it so that we could extricate ourselves from that and have a moment of realization and then observe it. So like it's okay, but it's time to it's time when it's time, and I feel like that's the issue really. It's it's a personal journey and a personal exploration. So whenever it's time for any one being to wake up, they will, because their greater self will spur that awakening. And it's been, and some aren't meant to awaken this time
Right.
around. Some are meant to do all that stuff, and they have a different purpose.
They
And that's okay too, right? So, and I guess the only way to ultimately cope and to extricate oneself to the best that one can is to come to a point of acceptance
Yep.
that this is what it is, and also responsibility, because we co-created it all.
Right.
There is nobody else, there's only us,
Right.
right?
So when did you first realize in childhood or adulthood or whatever when
Mm.
you were going to be jumping on our wagon? I call it like we're like the teetotalers, right? They jump on the wagon.
Yeah.
When did you jump on the wagon?
Oh my goodness. I feel like mm, I always thought that this was a weird place.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember having a very, very mystical experience when I was about 10 or 11. And my mom dropped me off at this ice rink in a big park. So there was like a whole bunch of people skating, and she would leave me for 3, 4 hours, just go and skate. Back in the day, it wasn't dangerous. Well, or so they said. But so and I was skating, and I thought, I don't want to be around all these people. And I remember when we drove up one way, I saw there was a pond, and it had been a particularly beautiful day with sunlight, and it had snowed, and it was very, very cold. I'm in Ontario, and I was at the time as well. So big snows, lots of ice. And so I put my shoes or my boots back on, and I walked down to where this pond was. And it was, I figured it was frozen. But the way that the trees were hanging over it with ice crystals, and it was sort of like a meandering course that I could take, and the sunlight was streaming through it. And honestly, it was the first time I felt like I was having it was like an out of body experience, but it was so beautiful and so surreal. And I thought, okay, well, how do I compare this to the rest of it? And then as I went along, there were a lot of mystical experiences, a lot. And then actually one in my early 40s that made me want to stop everything because it was so scary. Um, I had gone to a spiritualist church, and um, evidently I was a talented channeler. And there was this lovely, lovely Scottish woman who what she used to be like an Anglican minister or something. She became, and so she was teaching this in this spiritualist church, and she used to say, now don't you be doing this by yourself, because then I'm going to have to do an exorcism, and I don't like doing it. It's not a pretty picture. And so she scared the hell out of all of us. So one day there I am meditating, and after this experience, and I didn't stay long there, but anyway, so I'm meditating, and all of a sudden I feel this headlock come on. So somebody's trying to infiltrate my space,
Right.
and my arms went up in the air, like pinned up against the wall,
Oh,
and all I could see was the crucifixion scene, and I could taste the salt of the sweat and the sand in my mouth, and the dark hair that was in front of me. And I'm watching this heinous thing, and literally it broke my heart. And all I could hear was Magdalene, Magdalene, Magdalene. And I don't think I was hearing it now. When I go back, I feel like I was thinking it, because I believe I was standing there with Magdalene. So I've been told that I'm one of the sisters of Magdalene, like the in the group, not necessarily a bloodline,
right,
but
right. Right.
and so when that happened, I went, no, not. I think I'll just step back for a while. I'm not gonna do that. And I just blocked it. I said, nope, don't want any of it. Take it away. And so for a long, long time, that that was the truth. And then I met my mentor, Jonathan C.R. Davies, who mentored me. And um, I was ready to pop off, Dr. Andrea. I was ready to pop off around, that was around the age of 50. And I was ready to exit this popsicle stand because I did not understand it
Yeah.
in the least bit. I'm not encouraging anyone to do that, but
Right. Yeah, but
I'm just saying it
it's
was,
reality. You're not alone for sure. I'm not
yeah,
saying for sure. Okay.
yeah. I think I know your audience a little bit, and we're all sort of going trying to figure out how to be here,
Yeah.
and uh hence Free Me Portal, which is what
Right.
we'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, it was because of Jonathan, and he pointed out to me that my weirdness and the fact that I can't fit in was actually a
Right.
very special thing.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I saw the obligation that I have to bring forward whatever it is that I can.
Right.
I
Right.
saw the job, right? I saw the job ahead of me. And that completely changed my perspective. And I'm forever, ever grateful to him. It was his 9-year death anniversary just 3 days ago. So we celebrated that with his beautiful wife Hazel and some friends. And anyway, so that was that. And then the work that I do with the Unity Bubble, and that's been going on for quite some time, and I see the progress that people are making in their journeys and clearing trauma and releasing all that stuff and self-actualizing and really coming online and living an effortless life after they complete that. So I'm very, very grateful. And then you, 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 you.
Well, I feel like same thing. It's kind of like the Tea Party we all have with Evan and
Yeah, exactly. You.
it's so funny. I was mentioning this before, like usually when I go on other people's podcasts, in an interview or something like that, I always get all these like I don't know if they're from some of them are bots or government agents.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always like it's so strange that you know so many people don't get personality. Like
Mm,
I don't know, and I don't know. It's just very strange. And we're all like this, and
mm. It's
it
just natural.
humor it's like it's just but I think it's particularly the fact that if it's a woman like a woman
Mm,
who like has a personality and uses
mm,
humor
mm.
like people don't know what to do with that
Yeah, yeah.
and
A little.
it's just so strange you always get these weird comments of all these these I don't know they call them trolls or whatever
Yeah,
you know they're jerks I mean it goes but it's just so strange it's kind of like because it is true and I started thinking about this
yeah.
but what I see though now is a lot of women who are doing this kind of stuff, right?
Mm,
They're very robotic.
mm.
So people are getting, so that's what a woman should be. Very predictable, very, we sit here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Renata, do tell us about your blah, and oh, thank you for having me on
Yes,
the show.
yes. I'm dead, and I haven't fallen down yet.
Right. And they're all rigid and they don't have any emotions, they're always happy. They don't have any kind of roller coaster emotion. It's all
Yeah, yeah.
1950s TV show, where everybody's all rigid and
Yes, yes.
and it's
The broomstick up the back. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just really weird because we're not no one's like who's like that. It's a
Well,
persona.
I'll tell you, I have a bit of an unfair advantage because I do have a pretty extensive background in television.
Well, I
So I
want to
got
bring it up
over,
because I
I
want
got over,
yeah, yeah.
right? I got over all of that. And then I taught broadcasting and I taught people how to do voices and commercials and
Yep.
all that stuff. Even Tony Rosado, worked with Tony Rosado for a while. He was on a CTV and I did Second City once, which was like comedy night, and that was a lot of fun. But a lot of those, so because I've had that extensive experience, I'm not worried about being on camera. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. But when you start out, it can be really intimidating. But plus, once you've done the shadow work, who really cares? Just be yourself. Everybody else is taken, right?
Right,
Just be
exactly.
yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you because you
Oh,
said you have an extensive, many years working in the broadcasting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and that was a lot of fun. I met a lot of wonderful people, but and I just before we go into that, and the most important thing I want to do when I'm here today is to thank you, because when I started to say you, um, it was when actually Dr. Sala had you on his
oh,
show, so I heard you speaking the first time, and I went, oh boy. And the light bulb went off, and I feel this lady so much. And you so graciously agreed to do a session with me, not too long after that, because all my life I had sensed that I wasn't from here.
right.
But the confirmation, and I mean, even seeing myself on a ship and having those experiences, still you think
But absolutely, to
right.
this day, I'm like, yeah. To this day,
Yeah.
I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm just like, this is all fucking bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
making up this shit. And we're all here.
Yeah, we're all
I
making this shit.
mean, this is like, yeah. I mean, I saw ships like goes. Well, we all work. We're all friends, right? And people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't want. And I know for your free me portal and all the people really that come on our show is like, um, we want to talk to people. We're not like we don't go hide in a bush or. And that's the thing that I always found
Yeah.
with most people who have podcasts is you can't talk to them. They don't
Right.
they don't have a real life outside of like everything is very contrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
They're
you go
not
to their
approachable.
face, right, it's all
Yeah.
like they're not a real person on there.
Mm,
It's all
mm,
they're selling their wares or whatever,
yeah.
They never have a bad day, it's really
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like it's so
Or a bad hair day.
right, you're bad. They don't burn their hair, it's so strange. It's like this so and I mean, I think for me, because I was bullied most of my life. Um,
Mm,
when I was similar, like, like why you maybe semi-polished when you talk. Well, I've taught for 19 years. So,
yes,
but I
exactly.
stood in front of very hostile. These
Mm,
were, I will tell you, and anybody who's ever taught, they know what I'm talking about. But the people that are, for me, they're adults, they weren't kids, right? So I'm teaching college, but
mm,
the college participants were very hostile,
wow.
it was a real, you can imagine like a comedy, somebody who does comedy standing up in front of a room that's like full of hecklers.
Oh,
I did that for 19 years. And yeah, I
yeah.
was 100% suicidal.
Yeah.
I would drag myself to this job.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I'm used to being treated like shit.
Mm,
I'm not used to being treated anything other than that. And that's why people are like, why are you angry? Why are you actually it's not I'm not. I actually am I'm aggressive. There's a difference.
yeah.
Angry is kind of I mean, you can be angry, nothing wrong with being angry, but I'm aggressive and I have some really strong boundaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
an opinion and based on a lot of experience.
And I think that's what this, you have the experience. I can imagine working in television and different where you're like, wow, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
but
Well,
they're gifts.
yeah. Anyway, so when we had our first session, you're like, yeah, you're an envoy, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, la, 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 okay, okay. And, so you basically confirmed what I had seen and what I was feeling. And so that gave me a lot of
Right.
peace, but it also opened up a whole other can of worms. I'm like, okay, now what do I do with this? Because I believe that every time we meet someone, there's, and then you and I started to explore a little bit, and you said, listen, you got to do this because, you can't sit back on your fanny and like forget about your whole, because you can do this. So
Yeah.
you need to do this. And I thought, oh, mamma mia. And so, okay, so how am I going to do this? And I had started speaking a while before that with Lee Mudway, who's
Mhm.
working together on Free Me, and it's like it's a joint effort. joint intention. And then it sort of it evolved from you talking about the plight of star seeds and envoys, because it just broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart to learn all the machinations and of the up there, and how that affects, us down here, because there's us, and then, you know we came here to do a job, right? And then, the carpet got pulled out from underneath us, and
Oh,
there
saying
and
got the shaft. We're prisoners of war. We got the shaft.
yeah, we got the big shaft. And so the reason it took me a little while to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to make Dr. Andrea's um idea come alive? And with Lee as well, because he's a philosopher and
Yeah,
he's a
yeah.
brilliant man. And it dawned on me, I was given the vision, and that was it. And I just started building it. So Free Me Portal, was built
Yeah.
thanks to you, and thanks to the powers that are helping me and to it where this is going. So it is basically a portal, a an educational platform where I give the voice to anyone who wants to share
Right.
how they have navigated the matrix. So if you've come through it, this is the place for anyone to come, and you're going to see all of our facilitators, and I'm there. And there are a few other. Paul is there. Paul Hyman's been on your
Oh,
show.
yes. Oh, of course.
Paul's there, and you're going to see that, if you, even for someone who's got this inkling and they're like, yes, you're starting to figure out that this is not the reality that,
Right.
so if you jump on there, you can see a whole bunch of other people that have come through that that awakening process, even if it's this much. It doesn't have to be that much, it could be this much. And then you can engage with them and see where you want to go, right? And so this is both a message to everyone at large to jump on and join me. But we just started. So if you are a facilitator, if you would like to offer your beautiful services to assist others, because we want to wake up those 2.5 million star seeds,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because that really is going to tip the scale. I mean, I think Sophia is tipping it on her own.
Yeah.
And, however, we're still here doing a mission, right? Our mission is still to bring the light and the truth to, till death to us part, really. That's how I feel about it. Right?
I'm gonna pull up and see Mimi Putz. It was so weird.
Sure.
Now the screen share has been working really well.
Oh, good.
Well, that makes no sense why it didn't work. It partially worked at one time. Um, because I can,
There we go.
and this is yeah, like who knows what was behind some of these
Yes.
things. But yeah, this is
Oh,
your
it's
I
working.
love the intro and everything. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great video, and I had a lot of fun building it. And yeah, yeah, no
Yep.
matter where you're from, it's
Yep.
time to remember who you are and what.
That-
Mhm. That was an homage to you, my dear. What uh, you
it's
came to.
this is fantastic. It's most people aren't who they are. They're personas. They're kind of like a split off of somebody else. They're not their own person. And and this is what is making them unhappy. This is my thing, but I think this is what we're seeing are so many people at this point in time that are pushed to the edge, being fake for so long, some people decades or more, that they can't do it anymore. They're like they literally just can't do it anymore. And
Yeah,
that's your body saying you need to stop playing that game. You need to be who you really are.
yeah,
And that goes back to the Christmas gifts, you know. If
yeah.
you're living in a family that's running around and doing all the holidays and everything and you don't want to,
Mm,
you don't have to. And this is
yeah,
this is where people are gonna, and I think you're going to see divorces and all that kind of stuff. And there's nothing
Oh,
wrong
yes.
with that because it's time for you. You don't owe your body, you don't owe your mind. You're not a slave to somebody else. You're not a slave to your family or anyone. And if they're I mean, people got to start looking at this. If they're demanding that you not be yourself to cater to their needs, that's
Hmm.
enslavement. You're not that's enslavement, and
It
that's
is
crazy.
enslavement. It is enslavement. And
Well,
that's what it was meant to do. And on the Christmas thing, just do what makes you feel happy. I'm gonna call it Sunday, the
Sunday
day of the sun.
of the sun.
I'm gonna call it I'm putting little suns all over my tree because I love the sun. You know, I love Helios, Papa
Yeah,
Helios, the
right.
sun. That is a portal. The sun is a portal to all of the universe and consciousness. And I want to celebrate that. And, this universe is a universe of Christ consciousness. So, celebrate that in your own way. Find a way to turn it into a positive and really piss them off. No, I'm just joking.
But no, but you're right. But someone who loves you and is worthy of you, and you are worthy of them,
Mm.
isn't going to treat you like they own you, and isn't going to control
Oh,
you.
of course not.
But that's what people do.
Yeah,
So, I
100%.
mean, you're mentioning, you can feel it. The last thing those nefarious ones want is for you all to wake up to your superpowers. Yes, you have superpowers. Yeah. And to
Yeah,
nix their stink. So those are people, they're it's almost like an experiment. So I'll pull out of here once we figure out.
yeah, it is. It
Share,
is.
share. Okay, there we go. There.
Yeah, yeah. So you can jump on freemeportal.com and you can visit with us, all of our facilitators. And if you right now everything is free because I'm building it. It might stay free. I haven't decided yet. But I mean, if it starts to get too big and I need help, then I
Right.
might have to start asking for a little bit of money. But the point is, right now it's all for free. And
Yeah.
I just want people to get together, pull this community together of like hearted souls who are here to fulfill a mission. And let's get on with it, right? And support one another, right? So I want to build a community, not just for everyone to come to, especially the star seeds who haven't woken up yet or haven't left the hypnosis yet, but also a community of facilitators that we support one another because, this is important. We're here doing this together.
Right.
We started out together, but we're not together anymore. We're scattered all over the face of the universe, just like those stars and behind me, right? So let's pull it all together into that beautiful nucleus. And you see what happens when we all come together in that nucleus. What happens? It's light,
Mm.
right? So separately, we're powerful, but together, oh,
Yeah.
mamma
I
mia.
mean, right? As Linda was saying that.
Oh,
Well,
so
you
here,
did
so
it.
what's this?
Yeah,
What's this? What's this?
oh, it's an Italian. Linda and I are
No,
Italian.
no, I know, but it's a joke. What's this?
Oh,
It's a dead one of these.
oh, it's a. But I'm actually glad. I mean, you mentioned, and it's important. When it comes to obviously we all need finances. Everybody needs money to live on this planet. Unfortunately, right? Most of us. So it is if you have to hire somebody because people have to pay their rents and feed themselves, and that's not
Yeah.
necessarily so. I'm never against money, but I think it has become a trap. We were talking about this.
Oh yeah. Huge.
Um, for a lot of these people who become professional podcasters, right? People who
Mm,
have left their day jobs and have now are making their money going to conferences and maintaining these content creating sites. And not that they're not bad people. I think they started out with great intentions, but I think this is what people are seeing is they're in a dilemma now. See, because um, if you did lose your job and your entire way of supporting yourself on this planet, and money is the thing on this planet. We're
yeah.
not, no one here is stupid, right?
Yeah.
But here's they've put their backs against a wall.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a bunch of shit content, right? Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, this is fucking. But here's the same story we've been hearing for 3 years. kicked a can, whatever, right? And but what has happened is for these individuals is that they're good people. Because I'm not saying they're not. I mean, there are some. We all know they're shy. Of course, they're shysters. But I mean, for the people who are good people, I think a lot of them are now trapped in
Mm-hmm.
their own making, their own narrative, their own story that they've built their content on, and now they're stuck there because they actually are living off of this shit, so they can't pull away. They've basically sabotaged their own way of existing because
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I yes, absolutely. That's one way of understanding the situation. And I believe also it is a rare individual that can maintain their integrity
Mhm.
and not be driven
Right.
by making money. It's one thing if you're driven through absolute integrity in what you do and you don't really care about the money.
Right.
And it's another thing to be doing it for money.
Right.
And I feel that's a really difficult transition for people to make, especially those coming out of the matrix, because we've been taught to work for money. We've been taught to be good little slaves,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So I'm fortunate because I I do have a day job and it's cool. I work as an interpreter and I help people. Like it's okay. Yeah, it's a horrible environment, the court system,
Yeah.
but but I'm okay. And I kind of figure every time I go in there, I just sweep the place clean with my light. I'm like,
Oh, you're so yeah.
just blast it. And and if they knew that they're facilitating me doing all this other stuff, you
Right.
know. So thank you to the Canadian government for, allowing me to do
Yeah.
my day job and to be able to do all of this stuff because most of my work I don't charge for it. I don't because I don't have to.
Exactly. Exactly.
And however, that said, that may change because it make there. Remember that I told you I got that vision, or I was given the.
Yeah. Several. You had several visions that were quite intense.
Yes, we did. We did. I mean, you and I share a lot, so we both have ships in the backyard, right? So I remember you sent me an email, it was about a month ago, and you're like, "Listen, post all your freaking ship videos." And I'm like, "Oh!" It took me a day to do that, or dig them up and post them all. So we have that in common, and where was I going with this? What were we talking about, Andrew? I just lost it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the uh uh
But you know, the idea of the trap that that's kind of
yeah,
what it is. Once you start to monetize something, we're not no one's stupid. We understand. You need
right,
money.
right, right, right.
But once you start,
Oh yeah,
you walk
I
into
got
it
it.
understanding that you control the money rather than having the need for the money or the idea of it being a business that makes money.
Yeah, yeah,
That can control you.
yeah, exactly. And I got it. The brain's online. The burnt hair
The
is
brain.
interfering with the with the with the brain function. Okay, so I got those marching orders, right? And
Right.
what I'm supposed to be doing. But there were also you and I have this thing where we get songs and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So remember I got this at 4 and it always happens at 4:30 in the morning. So this is like three
Yes.
times now in the last month that I've been woken up and given a message. So the first one was I'm hearing this word, the sellish, the
This,
sellish, the sellish. What the is the sellish? I've never heard of that. And I had to, and then at the same time, I'm hearing Frank Sinatra, those fingers through my hair, da, 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 it's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. So I'm getting the witchcraft song and
right.
I'm the sellish. What the heck? So of course, 4:30 in the morning, I pull out my phone and I send myself a message because I'm not going to remember this if I wake
Exactly.
up.
This would be right. Yeah.
So then I looked it up and I think I sent you a PDF. So the sellish, it is a story about um a group of people who live on a planet called Cell and they do witchcraft. They're evil
Yeah.
freaking
So,
witchcraft shits,
yeah.
right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, I'm reading this. I go, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm like, what is this? So I said, Andrea, what is this? Why did I get that? And you had your explanation.
It's the cabal, it's the ICC, it's the interstellar conglomerate. That's what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Then the next one was the word Gershon.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the word Gershon? Gertio. And I think they pick weird words because if it was anything else, I'd be like, yeah, 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 whatever. But
Right.
Gershon, I'm like, and I didn't even know how to spell it. Again, I write it down on my phone. And in the morning, and the song that came through was from Chicago, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh, they reach for the gun, they both the gun, they reach for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. It was the gun for the gun, right? So in that what was it, the press time rag or whatever it was called. So that when I looked up Gershon is a story about gangster, a family of gangsters.
Good.
So who
Right.
here's your what was your response to that one? Same
That's the
thing.
cabal. That's all this you're getting message, you're getting intel about the cabal. And they're interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Mm.
all over the place up there. And this is the one of the planets they own.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're just doing business.
Yeah, business as usual. Well, we're trying to disrupt
That's what
that. So
that's what
so the third one that came just like a week ago, again, I'm woken up at 4:30 in the morning and I saw I don't know if I was on a ship or there was all I saw was like this desk, this white desk in front of me. Everything else was kind of like floating, and I could sense a very powerful female presence to my left. And
Mhm.
she had a stack of papers about this big, like printouts from a printer.
Mhm.
And I see her putting them down, like she just sort of put them down like this on the table, and the top page slid off. So I could see the first page and I could see the second page. And the first page said, well, I may not have to work as an interpreter for much longer.
Right.
And the second sheet said that I am to embrace fully my broadcasting and I would be getting messages and people would be directed to me uh, to bring their message forward
Right.
for the highest and greatest good
Right.
of all. And so it was a bit of a confirmation because with Free Me Portal, you were saying, no, 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 you got to get your fanny back in gear and get interviewing people and stuff. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to interview all of the facilitators. I'm going to interview Lee. We're going to just start there and see where it goes. But this was a little bit more of a kick in the ass. This was a more
Well, and then
significant.
that's what I said when we first started chatting. I said, so first of all, number one, you have to stop being a follower. And
Yeah.
for everybody, me, all of us, we have to stop being, first of all, you have to stop being a follower. That's number one.
Yeah. Very important.
Secondly, I said, you need to use the skills that you, this is actually how they work. So people are in a job, their life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Doing their job, whatever that happened that is. Well, that's on purpose. There's stuff in that job or jobs that were skill sets or positioning where you needed to be. So for you, I said, and this is the same thing they told me, is you need to use them against them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your thing, where all of that training that you had and the connections that you make. I said, as I told you, I said, you have to figure out a way to screw them back.
Mm-hmm.
Word things a certain way, you got to sell things a certain way, where you're, as a spy, basically intercepting and inserting yourself deep into the cabal itself, like just like what they do me with this on YouTube. I'm like, I'm not using YouTube. It's like, no, you
Mm-hmm.
need to use their stuff against them.
Yeah.
And that's what, and that's everyone. That's every single person. There's
Yeah.
aspects of your life that you had that you were in
Yeah.
that are the tools you need now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. It's not from a point of view of wanting to screw anyone particularly, but it's
Well,
like
oh,
it's like because
we want to
we're here, it's a fight. It is a fight,
absolutely,
right?
yeah.
It is a fight. And I have to acknowledge that as much as I want to, you know, think, the sunbeams and butterflies,
Oh,
it was created to be a fight.
Absolutely. It's a fight upstairs. There are no
Yep.
sunbeams and butterflies.
No.
Individually, you meet a nice person, yes, right?
Mm,
You go to a planet, you meet some nice people. On Earth, you meet some nice people. Yeah, but that's not the whole, the whole, if you go, that's an individual, that's when you micro, when you take it down to the sort of
yep.
the micro image.
100%.
But when the overarching image, it's a shit, it's dog eat dog, it's violent, and it's
Hmm.
nasty.
Hmm.
That's the same
Hmm.
upstairs. We're all there's no separation between here and we're all part of a. Everyone's the same. The Terran is an ET. That is, you just happen to be on this one. It's not the only. There are thousands of races. There are millions of inhabited planets, and there is a hell of a lot of Earths out there being screwed over. So I always tell Terrans, I'm sorry to
Exactly.
burst your little 3-year-old bubble, but you're not the center of the universe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, there used to be a place in Toronto. Well, it still exists. It's called Yorkville, and it used to be the posh poser place in the 80s, where the discos were and everything. And I used to call it the center of the universe because everybody that went there thought it was, and that the world revolved around them, right? It's just a little funny thing to extrapolate. But the bottom line is we're here to do a job.
right.
And you felt you got your marching orders to start
And yeah,
this podcast,
yeah.
and you're doing it. And regardless of where Ika is and where you're at, you're still doing this because you believe in it, and
Yeah.
you're following your heart and where you feel your work needs to be for the highest and greatest good of all, as am I, and as is anyone else whose heart is in the right place and has realized that we're not here to chase money. We're here to fulfill our agreement with with Sophia, with the sun, with Ilios, with with the cosmic consciousness, because we would not have been able to come here and be without having had an agreement with the cosmic consciousness to do something, especially at this level, right? So
Oh,
I'm very aware of that. And and honestly, what I teach is that there is no way that one can be completely fulfilled unless one is following one's heart and one's highest enjoyment.
yeah.
Everything else is going to lead to a life of misery,
Oh, yeah.
boredom,
That's what they
and
want. That's their goal.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
they want. Once people start to break, you know, and that goes back to childhood.
Yep. Yep.
Everything is put in place to make sure you're enslaved to the system.
Yep, exactly. And you and I, Dr. Andrea, are living proof that that can be turned around. And that's
Excited.
the
Yeah.
most important part of Free Me Portal, because we're free as much as we can be in a space-time continuum in a human avatar. We are as free as we can possibly be. And as this whole process unfolds, and as this whole game, and the I just did a great interview with Lee yesterday about the rose as the model for the consciousness of the universe, and it's so 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 beautiful. I encourage everyone. Maybe we can put a link in the
Oh,
bottom
we're
of
gonna put them in the
this video.
description so people can find all of the different work that you've been doing. So
Yeah, it's so 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 powerful. And when you see that, when you capture that view from not 10,000 feet but 100,000 feet, when you can see how it all, this organic model, and how we're part of it, and how we co-created it all
yeah,
with the breath and everything. I mean, it's beautiful. And it's inclusive of everyone and everything. There is no separation at that point, and it becomes a joy, right? And it definitely not a struggle anymore. And it's so much easier to mitigate when life does seem to become a struggle,
yeah,
when you have that in your heart, right? Plus, if you're doing what gives you joy, then everything else falls away. And
yeah,
the universe rushes in to support you because that's your choice. It has to support your choice. And if you're choosing to be a slave, well, it has to rush in and help you do that too.
yeah.
right? That's
And,
that's the
we could,
kicker,
and
right?
that's the most frustrating thing is that we could turn this whole thing over and like right now if everybody just walked away.
Exactly, which is why we're
So
building
sad.
Dreamy Portal, because so as many of us come together and do that, explode the whole damn thing.
But they're
It
not.
just
And it's just sad that that's what's so frustrating for me is realizing like the only thing that's keeping the matrix, the only thing that's keeping this farm in business
mm,
are the livestock. Is the people that
mm,
are being farmed here are maintaining
mhm.
their own slavery. They could stop
Oh,
it like tomorrow. They could stop it
oh
immediately.
yeah. Well, it's a brilliant model,
It's
They're
absolutely. I mean,
absolutely genius, and it's not the
oh,
first time. They've done this so many times. It's an old
oh,
playbook, right? It's an old playbook, and they've got it down to a T. The ultimately, though, there's just no way it will ever preside because it cannot be of a certain vibration. It can only go so high, and
oh, very low. I mean,
once
slavery.
we collectively breathe together and find that truth, everything else is just going to disappear. It's just going to, it has to. It has to.
So simple. It's just. But I think we're at the place now where, and this is how it breaks from within.
Yeah.
It breaks from the people, all the individual people finally, listening to a radio station about Christmas and buying gifts and taking, and throwing money away and being like, wait a minute, what have
Shitting
I been
now.
doing for the past 20 years? Because
Yeah.
there's so
Yeah.
many people now that are like, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. My
Yeah.
mom's 93. She's waking up. You're
Oh,
never
bless her.
too
Yeah.
old to
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you realize eventually when you're ready, when people are ready, it doesn't feed you anymore. It's empty.
Hey,
They're empty calories. It's empty calories, like eating a Snickers bar, you
right,
know?
right.
There's nothing real about it.
Nope.
So you do all of that. Then there's a pile of wrapping paper and ribbon and shit on the left on the ground, and you're in your robe and you're like, okay, now what?
And then you get all the greenies with the climate change. And I used to tell all my students this. I'm like, who's making this is when people start to wake up. Who's
Yeah.
making the plastic? Who's
Yeah. Hello.
polluting the rivers?
Yeah.
Who's doing all of it?
Yeah. Hello.
The cabal, the ones that are feeding you, the
Yeah.
lies,
Yeah.
ones that
Yeah.
are destroying, not the
Yeah.
people aren't destroying
Yeah.
this planet.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are. They're holding back the technology that could clean the planet up.
No, for sure.
They're making all the chemicals.
Yep.
They're making, if you so stop, so what can you do? Stop. You can't even stop buying plastic.
No.
Force-fed plastic.
Yeah. And what you can't stop breathing, you can't stop eating, right?
It's like,
Everything is meant to take you down a notch, right? I don't want to use vocabulary that's not going to be, but you know what I'm saying. Absolutely. And all we can do is mitigate. But the thing is, ultimately, what do you believe? Do you believe that we're greater than that? I believe that when we are in our heart and when we are strong and uh, we realize on a profound level that we create our reality, then there is no sickness, there is no disease, there is no perpetrator, there is only the single field that decided to create itself and give us this opportunity to discover more of ourselves as it discovers itself in infinity.
yes.
And this teeny slice of time that we find ourselves in and that is our life is a that you can't even, it's such a tiny fraction, it can't even be stated. But you know there's I really want to underscore that the most important thing that I feel you and I can offer is hope.
Yeah. I mean,
Got to be
not
hope.
not hopium, but
No, not hopium.
I, I think, for me,
Yeah.
it comes from just taking your power. When I
Mm-hmm.
was very suicidal, something got to me one day, and it was like, you don't have to stay here any longer than you want to. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing that was really dragging me down, was thinking that I was going to have to live out my life on this planet. I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
That was like seeing that stretch of years ahead of me was like
Mm-hmm.
sent, it's a prison sentence.
Prison sentence. Yeah.
And it was just that was depressing, right? And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to do that.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, yeah, I only have to stay here as long as I fucking want to.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you start to break it down where then you're like, you don't have to be around people you don't want to be. You don't owe any. Then you realize I don't owe anyone anything.
No,
And then you
no.
start to become little by little, you start to, and I think a lot of depression and suicide is lack of power.
Mm,
Start to, and then you may say, okay, well, you then once you start to control your world, that's what that is. Once you start to create, and Nika talked about this when we were talking about manifestation.
mm, mm.
It is simply just a matter of you sitting down, slapping yourself in the face, and being saying, like, okay, how much are you willing to get rid of? Right. And
Exactly.
it may be steps. You may be like, okay, well, I'm not going to go out with friends this Friday night. It may be that. It may be like you've been going out with friends every Friday night and you hate it.
Yeah,
You don't get
exactly.
them, they don't get you. It's like, so you start there. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
Then you
yeah,
stop playing golf because you hate golf, and so you stop playing golf.
yeah,
Then you might even sell your house and downsize.
yeah.
And then you start doing a little bit and a little bit, and you start creating. And for some people, it's going to be like, I'm in a relationship, I don't want to be in it anymore. I'm
Yep.
like, remember, you don't owe anybody anything.
Nope. No, you only owe it to yourself
People
to
walking
be
away
in your
from,
own truth.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's
that's
just, but then you may get down to the point where, like, okay, right now, I'm going to stay in this situation. Maybe you have children or something, right? And you're like, okay, I'm just going to stay in this job. I'm going to look for other jobs, but I'm going to stay in this job right now for the next so many years, right?
mm-hmm,
And then blah blah. But you start controlling
mm-hmm.
what you're. And I told people, I said, there are star people down here working as baristas. There are people from other people. People don't get that. You mean the guy who
Yeah.
picks up my garbage is from Venus? Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
but they're from other planets. Aren't they all show offs? And like, aren't they doing like big, real? I'm like, think about what you're saying. Okay, so when you're on another planet, there's no status on these planets that
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everyone coming together to make it work well for each other, where no one's
Yeah,
enslaved. Just you work whatever you feel like you want to
exactly.
get the real. It's like you have to wash your dishes or you won't have clean dishes,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
just common sense. And once people start to think like that, it's like derp, you know?
Yeah, derp is right.
Derp,
Yeah. And
they
the most important thing, it doesn't matter what it is that's the exterior manifestation of it.
yes,
It's the interior impetus, it's the interior intention. So that's the other
right,
work that I do with my other website, Rada Lightwork, with the unity
yes,
bubble I mentioned about Jonathan. So this whole process is an energetic process that helps you protect yourself from outside influences,
right,
and it starts to dissolve interference or resistance, sorry. And as you dissolve the resistance, the trauma comes up and you processes it, and you're in a protected environment, so you can start to hear yourself think because you're not being bombarded by
right,
the frequencies of the matrix. And you go through that for a little while. Some people take 6 weeks, some people take 6 months, people take 3 years.
yeah,
The point is, you're going to get there. You're going to get to self actualization. You're going to get to the realization that you are not your body.
right, right,
You are consciousness.
right,
You are magnificent light.
yeah,
You're just in a human body,
yeah.
right? But that
And
body has accumulated a bunch of shit and
yeah,
it's been in the mill, right? It's
well,
been
animals,
in the
yeah,
freaking mill, the cabal mill. And so you got to deal with that.
right.
You got to get all that stuff out. And you can do it yourself. Of course, you can do it yourself, but it'll take you 100 years. Or you can do it
I always
with
say,
some assistance. Yeah.
animals, animals, animals.
Oh, animals, 100%.
They're the ones that get it,
Oh,
right?
they do immediately.
You don't see them, they just do their thing. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even care. Like they have their body. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
squirrels. They run around, then bloop, next thing hit by car. They don't care. Have you ever talked to an animal that's passed?
Hmm. Yes, yes,
They
I have.
don't
Yes.
give a I mean, you think of a mouse,
No.
like how many
No.
billions of lives has a mouse had?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like,
And one in my bed 3 nights ago that Mala delivered. My kitty cat delivered me a lovely mouse. She put it in the bed with me. I guess she thought I was hungry. I'm
yeah,
going to give that big, stupid white animal a mouse because
a
she
mouse,
needs
don't
to
get it.
eat.
Yeah. But that's your their system. They don't have cops. They don't have jail. And you take any single animal society. None of them work. Nobody has everybody expresses themselves. They have a
Hmm.
certain kind of it's but it I'm gonna say hierarchy, but they have a certain sort of civilization they create if it's a herd.
Yeah.
But that civilization is very plastic. It is not set
Oh
in
yes.
stone, right?
Oh yes.
That you yeah.
Oh no, they got it going on.
They
They
got it
got it.
going. I mean, it's like,
They
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
100%. I mean, there isn't a day that doesn't go by that I don't learn something from Mala and from Milo. I
Yeah,
don't even like calling them my pets. They're people. They're people
or the
that hang out
bees,
with
there's
me that I'm lucky enough to have hang out with me. You know, they share their love with me. It's unconditional. Sometimes they share mice, but that's okay. You know, I know it's coming from a
and this is
sincere.
the thing. All of these Andromedans, Arcturians, blah blah blah, all these people, they're enslaved by their need for technology.
Yeah, that's a problem.
These are idiots.
Mm.
They're morons. They're slaves to their own systems. They're slaves to their philosophies. I don't give a I don't talk to them anymore because I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Mm.
Dumb.
Mm.
They're,
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm.
we're looking for enslaved people to unenslave us. How stupid
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're still playing out. That's still that's still an egoic construct, right? That's Star
Yeah,
Wars, right? It's still
exactly.
an egoic warmongering construct. I don't care if your
Yes,
ships are bigger and your guns are bigger and fancier.
right.
It's still the
The big dick
same
scenario.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big ship. Did you say big ship scenario?
Yes,
No.
something like that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, that's not where personally I'm here to actualize completely, fully, and become uh, the light body once again, which is what we were when we came here to begin with.
Yeah.
In terms of creation, I'm
Yeah.
going back to being light, and the consciousness will never leave. We're eternal beings. So what are you all so hung up about?
Yeah.
And it's the attachment to the physical. Of course, it's very, very tempting, right? It's very, very tempting to remain attached to these things physical.
Yeah.
Uh, and it gets easier. It gets easier to let go. But look at the animals.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you said, to see how they do it. They're not attached. They're not attached at
I was
all.
I was sitting, so my mom was, she gets her toenails at the, she goes to the hospital. There's a guy there that trims her toenails. She's 93, right? So I'm watching all these people, all elderly, all crippled up, staggering all up.
Mm,
And I'm looking at them, I'm like, it isn't like your average human isn't living. It's not that
mm,
they're alive because they want to be alive.
no. Yeah.
It's because they're terrified to die. The only reason they're here is because they're terrified of death.
Yes.
Like you're not living, you don't have a life.
Yeah.
Like your body's a mess. Like like are you really are you having a quality life? No,
Yeah.
you're just terrified to die. Because once you get the
Mm,
fuck out of body, if you want to have another, you can have another go, you can have another. It's like drinking cold coffee.
yeah.
Throw out the cold coffee and have some hot, mix yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what the animals tell you. This is what the animals tell you. Why are you so connected to your stupid, crippled up, half dead body? Because you're afraid
Hmm.
to die. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Once you get rid of the body you're in now and you want to have a new, fresh one, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It
unconscious suffering. That's what we call
is. It's what it is.
unconscious
I'm like,
suffering.
what the? I'm getting out of here the first chance I get.
Mm, mm,
I'm not,
mm.
I mean, I do maintain, I'm trying because I want to be reasonably while I'm here and not gross, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
the minute I get any serious disease, that's it. I'm out. That's my ticket.
Yeah. Well, you will have created that out. I'm sure your greater self will have created all of the outs that you
I
need,
want the, yeah,
you
I
know,
want the out, you know,
and it's going to be gracious and perfect, and it'll be perfect.
yeah,
And but neither of us, I'm sorry to tell you, are going anywhere until our job's done.
I know. Well, that's what I tell people, you know, it's like,
That kind of job, not the 9 to 5 piece of
I
shit
know,
job.
it's like
The job from the soul, from the heart, from
yeah.
the universe. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
maintaining my, I get so angry, and Louise starts ringing bells saying I'm like, someone is maintaining my body.
Mm,
My body hasn't changed since I was a teenager. I'm like physically, I'm
yeah,
still,
you're amazing, amazing, amazing.
I have not, my body works like it did when I was in my 20s. There's no change.
Wow.
Like, and I'll even look
Yeah,
at it, I'll be like, except for that sun that kills my hands, like geezer hands,
yeah, yeah.
but I've been hard working with. But the rest of my body is like it was when I was in my 20s.
Wow.
I'm looking at this going, the fuck going on?
Why are you
I,
doing it?
I like you know, and it makes no freaking. And it's just like and I know I'm like somebody's doing this.
Yeah,
Somebody's doing this. I don't know if it's
yeah,
the cabal or what, because and I think the cabal, like they know you want to die, so they're like, oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
you
We're
ain't
gonna just,
ever getting sick. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. We're
oh,
just gonna zap her so she lives longer.
right. It's like, but you got to ask you because everybody you talk to, they're all sick. They all got some kind of physical. Oh, my knee,
Mm,
blah 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 blah.
yeah,
Their bodies are all
yeah,
sick. I see
yeah.
people in their 30s that like they were walking. So funny. This is the kind of shit I think about, right? My ass is like a bodybuilder. I'm like firm. I'm like my body is like firm, right? And there's this chick walking down the street. She's like maybe 30s, and I'm like my ass, and she has this wobbly soft ass. I'm
Yeah,
like, wobbly soft ass because I don't know how you get a wobbly soft flappy ass,
yeah, yeah.
right? It's like she's exercising. I don't exercise, and I'm looking. I'm like my ass is firmer than your ass. I'm probably twice your weight. My brain, because I'm such a thinker, I'm such a logical, everything's analytical. Like,
Oh my
he can
gosh.
listen to this shit. He listens to all this. And
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
crack me up.
this makes no sense. Like, my brain's trying to process. And I'm
And
like,
this is what your PhD brain thinks about, right?
yes, yep. And I have to have a logical answer. And I'm not going to go up and ask the person, my ass, you like what, 20? My ass is like fucking like so much stronger. Fuck. And you're like all flabby. I'm like, so you can't talk to people. I'm like, but I want to know.
Right.
What the hell is going on? Because that doesn't make logical sense. So anyway, now I'm being Italian.
Oh, it's okay.
I know, I'm like, what? That's my
You, you, you.
like stuff has to add up, and it's just yeah.
Well, I tell you now that we've solved all the problems of the universe, and I wanted to say thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity and for all of your beautiful advice and counsel, and for always being there. So you're not one of those unreachables,
No,
and I am very, very grateful that it has. Um, Resulted in such beautiful fruit in Free Me Portal
oh, yeah.
and all of these beautiful unfoldings that I was so happy to be able to share with everyone today. So thank you so, so much, Dr. Andrea, and you rock, babe.
Oh, you're funny. I stand up comedy, but no, I mean you've come so. I mean, what has been? It's been oh God, was it a year now, right? Is it has
Since we started chatting, not
not
quite. About,
quite,
no,
not
I think it was March, April that we had our session, something there.
right, right. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you were, and I didn't want to say anything, but you were following a lot of people. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
that's how we all do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you slowly, you just,
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
cojones together, and you're like, you just
Mm-hmm.
got that. I mean, you were putting so. I mean, I can't believe how much work you put into that. I mean, it was like,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, that's not a dirty word in my vocabulary, but you're right. I did put on my lady balls.
yep.
And they're on now
And
and
oh, no, yeah. And bring in,
they're not going anywhere.
yeah, but you created this arena, and all these wonderful people like Lee and Paul and other people on your new, and more people are coming in.
Yep.
It's like that's how it works. It's like you stand up and then they stand up.
And thank you for the inspiration and the confidence that you instilled in me, and some of the direction as well to be able to do that. So, thank you to you, my dear,
Sometimes you just need
because,
someone to slap you in the face, that's fine.
yeah, slap me, baby, slap me.
I go around and I slap. That's what I do. I mean, people, it's so funny because what I do, that's exactly what my sessions are. People think, it always pisses me off when these other people have they do all their whatever they do, right? Same, similar. Oh, I teach rather than do. So,
Yeah,
like, oh, this person upgraded my DNA. I'm like, nobody upgrades your DNA. Like,
yeah, right. What
and
are
then
you, a
like,
machine? Yeah.
all I do when I have a session with somebody is slap them in the face. That's it. I'm like, I don't do anything. They do it.
Yeah, it's
They do.
true. It's true. But it's a because it comes from such a pure place, it works.
You can't
And
do anything for anybody. They're doing it for
suck it up.
themselves,
Yeah, yeah. So suck it up, Buttercup.
right?
Dr. Andrew's gonna smack you, but then your life's gonna fall into. I don't quite smack people, but I can be brutally honest, you
Yeah,
know?
that
So
is because stop following, start leading. That's it.
I really appreciate that. And yeah, you are amazing. And thank you once again for this wonderful opportunity. And
So
maybe we'll do it again. Well, maybe it might be time for another episode of slapstick. We'll see how this all unfolds.
yeah, so we'll put, I'm like I said, I'm so glad that you finally, you put a lot of work and you got all your stuff done, ready to share your material, and we did that for the first session. Looking forward to more.
Yes.
And for folks to visit all of your YouTube channel now, what you started up, and all your different
Yep.
websites. There's quite a few, so we'll put them in
Yep.
the other session, and yeah, we'll look forward to more conversations on different stuff that you're doing, and we'll bring that forward for folks.
Great. Thank you
Beautiful.
so, so much.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And from my heart to yours.
You
Thank you so
and as Frank Chili always says, see you upstairs.
See you upstairs. Okay. Bye for now.